Hello, my name is Katie Bunton, and I chose to research the topic of what constitutes an autobiography for this final essay project. One of the sources that I used is Framing Identities, written by Wendy S. Hesper, and she describes that autobiography writing is self-representation. For the majority of the essay, I decided to analyze three texts in order to show that even though these texts are not categorized as autobiography, they are self-representation expressions, regardless if it's through the author or the story or the personal background. The first text that I chose to analyze is Sula, written by Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison is a world-renowned writer within her community as well as the industry, and she has a lot of experience writing about identity crisis and social issues and also racial issues, where she has experienced some of those things in her own personal background. Sula is about a young black woman named Sula who returns to her hometown, Medallion, Ohio, um, different than when she left it. It's been a 10-year absence, and she comes back kind of a mesh between white culture and black culture, and the community that she comes back to does not accept her the way that she is, and she is considered scum. It is a story of finding out who she is, where she comes from, and what is she using in her own personal life that is creating her identity and who she is. And I believe that this is a version of self-representation because Morrison uses some of her own personal experiences and some of her own emotions that she talks about within Sula into the characters and the character development and the places and the interactions. So I definitely believe that this is a representation of the self, just written within the fictional format. The second text that I chose to analyze is Ruined, written by Lynn Nottage, which won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009. I love Ruined. It is a great story, definitely if you want to learn about, the struggles of women undergoing violence because of war. Lynn Nottage went to East Africa during 2004 and 2005, and she interviewed women of the Democratic Republic of Congo who underwent atrocities such as torture, rape, women being beaten, babies, their heads being stepped on while the mothers are being raped, just all kinds of very bad things, all in the name of masculine identity. And what Lynn Nottage is trying to express with Ruin is that in a masculine dominant place where men are running the political decisions, the domestic decisions, and pretty much the decisions of the entire city, women are in real danger. And Ruin is about a group of women in the Congo who seek refuge in a whorehouse and become prostitutes, and they are treated repulsively, and all of the emotions and the interactions between all of these people are, although they're fabricized, are true based on the interviews that Lynn Nottage gathered when she went to East Africa. There is a little synopsis of when she went there in the back of this play, as well as pictures of the women that she interviewed. I believe that the women who spoke out to Lynn wanted their stories to be told and wanted this to be known and wanted to self-express, and Lynn Nottage was able to do that for them, so I definitely would consider this a version of self-representation. The third text that I analyzed is Citizen, an American Lyric by Claudia Rankine. This is prose, poetry, self-exploration. She considers issues like the identity crisis, social issues, racial issues, and one of the more sensitive issues that she discusses is white privilege versus the black community. It is definitely a self-reflection because of her own personal experiences that she puts into the prose, but it also is interesting because she uses other people within her community to show the injustices that are done to them as well. So it's not only about her, but about the entire community that she represents. So I definitely think this is worthy of self-representation. To sum up my essay, all three of those texts, I believe, are worthy of self-representation because of the experiences of the authors, as well as the representor representing the person who is expressing their self-identity. If any of you are interested in the books that I have talked about, I would definitely recommend Ruined by Lynn Nottage, because it's a fantastic read, and even though it is sometimes hard to get through, it really is insightful and it's wonderfully written. And that is my presentation, so thank you.